This is the evening news from Monday, October 21, 2013. I am Leanna Bradshaw. Thanks for joining us. Making the headlines tonight. New GCOM commissioner sworn in. Guyana establishes High Commission in South Africa. Guyana preparing for upcoming CARICOM Canada talks. National Toshao's council meeting opens in Georgetown. GRA to take sterner action against tax evaders. And several injured in two-way collision. And now for the news in detail. President Donald Ramatar has sworn in a new commissioner to sit on the Ghana Elections Commission. Samuel Suknandan reports.
President Donald Ramatar today swore in a new commissioner to the Ghana Elections Commission, who will now replace a People's Progressive Party civic commissioner who recently resigned. Ramatar congratulated the new member of the GCOM team and took the opportunity to reiterate the importance of the commission and the need for it to function at its maximum.
He has been filling a vacancy that has been created by a resignation that we recently had of Ms. Manichan. So I want to take the opportunity to wish you well and to ensure that the work of the commission will be the foremost in your mind as we continuously move to improve our democratic institutions in our country.
The new Commissioner Athmaram Mangal said he is prepared to execute his duties with the highest level of professionalism and noted that his area of expertise in management will aid the Commission in a large way.
It is a policy post, so I expect there'll be some policy making as well, so I can deal with the technical matters a little bit more. At least that's the environment that I'm very comfortable in.
PPP appointed Commissioner at GCOM, Jaya Manichan, submitted her resignation a few weeks ago. Manichan did not state a reason for her resignation according to reports. The PPP member took up office at the Commission during March 2012 and had replaced former Commissioner Moen Makdoum, who resigned in February of 2011. For the Evening News, I'm Samuel Suknandan.
Foreign Affairs Minister Carolyn Rodrigues-Burkett has announced the establishment of a new High Commission office in South Africa and the appointment of a new Charge d'Affaires.
We already have a Charge d'Affaires there in South Africa. She's been there for over a month. The reason we have not yet made an announcement on this matter, and we'll do so very soon, is that we're just completing the premises of the High Commission in South Africa. So very soon we will be informing you. We're conducting our business right now, but we want to ensure that we give the public an address where they can go. So as it is with establishing diplomatic missions, our Charge d'Affaires, Ms. Barbara Haley, who is a career diplomat and who worked in establishing the mission in Delhi as well, is there.
Meanwhile, Minister Burkett reported that Guyana, as well as CARICOM, is actively preparing for the upcoming trade negotiations with Canada, which will see more benefits flowing to the region. Foreign Affairs Minister Carolyn Rodrigues-Burkett says there has to be a replacement for the Canada-CARICOM trade agreement when it expires in December this year in order for the region's businesses to continue trade with Canada. She explained that while Guyana's trade will not be directly affected immediately, there are long-term consequences.
Guyana's export to Canada is mostly gold. Over 90% of our export to Canada is gold. And so if we look at the numbers and we look at our exports, whether there is an agreement or not, it would not affect us so much. But one has to, at this point in time, but one has to also be to think about the future. And I think we have to not be selfish, and we have to think about the region as a whole.
As such, in order to tackle this issue in the interest of the region, Rodrigues-Burkett said negotiations are underway for a trade and development agreement, which will replace the current non-reciprocal Caribbean-Canada Trade Agreement, also known as CARIBCAN. She explained, however, that Canada is not in agreement with this.
While Canada is insisting that development should not be part of the agreement, and we are insisting that it must be, Canada is also saying that we must include labor and the environment in the agreement. We have said, well, look, we don't think that it should be in the agreement, but we have also agreed that we should have discussions on this matter.
The Foreign Affairs Minister said Caribbean nations are hopeful that the negotiations will accelerate and an agreement can be met in the interest of both the region and Canada. CaribCan permits the Government of Canada to provide duty-free imports of eligible products from Commonwealth Caribbean countries without being required to extend the same duty-free treatment to like products of any other contracting party. However, the World Trade Organization WTO waiver, which allows Canada to grant such non-reciprocal preferences, is due to expire on December 31, 2013. For the Evening News, Leanna Bradshaw. In this report, you'll hear that the National Toshao Council meeting opened in Georgetown, with President Donald Ramatar calling for more transparency and accountability in the affairs of the Amerindian communities.
The conference began on a high note, with government assuring its commitment to improving the lives of Indigenous people. President Donald Ramatar also encouraged village leaders to ensure accountability and transparency.
We urge you to also adopt these healthy measures in the management of your own communities as you proceed to develop your people.
He recognized the important role the opposition must play in helping to further develop the lives of Indigenous people, adding that their energies should not be centered on obstructing the groundwork laid by government. Meanwhile, Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai noted that some highly politically motivated persons in villages also employ destructive measures to cause rifts between village councils and community members.
I implore, as leaders, that you lead by example. Ensure that you maximize the resources made available to you and improve accountability and work towards reducing instances of diverting village funds and resources to not the intended uses.
She encouraged village leaders to strengthen the system of administration and management of village assets, since this is an area of concern in some villages. Village leaders and Toshaos will engage in discussions with President Donald Ramatar and ministers of government during the conference, where they will have an opportunity to air their concerns and seek government's help to improve their respective villages. The conference is being held under the theme Culture of Good Governance for Sustained Village Economies. Reporting from the Guyana International Convention Center for the Evening News, I'm Sabatini Daniels.
The ruling People's Progressive Party Civic has established an Integrity and Discipline Commission to discipline its members who are breaching the party's rules, while ensuring that a high level of integrity remains a feature of those holding public office. The commission is made up of 5 long-standing executive members and will be spearheaded by Dr. Roger Luncheon and Clinton Collymore. The commission will investigate allegations in relation to theft, bribery, and forgery. The commission is also mandated to investigate misconduct by party members who engage in activities unbecoming of a good member, including defamation and sexual harassment. The party said that the decision to establish the commission flows from the last Congress and the new Central Committee deliberations, where it was affirmed and additional steps to be taken to establish a mechanism to address allegations of misconduct and reinforce party discipline at all levels. Do stay tuned. More news after the break. Welcome back to the Evening News. The Guyana Defense Force, GDF, today said that its investigators are seeking 10 rounds of 7.62 by 39 mm ammunition that went missing. The rounds went missing from the guard room of the Colonel John Clark Military School at Takama, Upper Berbice River. The force confirmed, too, that a separate board of inquiry has been established to report on any breaches of the standing operating procedures and for the handling and accounting for ammunition at the training location. The Guyana Defense Force has since conducted checks that accounted for all other ammunition held at the Colonel John Clark Military Training School, Takama. The Guyana Revenue Authority has announced today that it will be taking stronger action over the next few weeks against tax evaders and defaulters. Samuel Suknandon joins us with the details.
Commissioner General of GRA Khurshid Sattar said that this is the only measure the tax collection body can take to ensure that it retrieves millions of dollars owed in taxes. Sattar said that these tax defaulters have access to big lawyers and they are challenging the judgments despite owing government millions of dollars in taxes which accumulated over the years.
We have therefore taken a position with some of these companies, I've mentioned them in the press release, to go after the taxes by way of levy proceedings. And if you cannot get it by levy proceedings, to close these companies down, to avoid them having further liabilities for the taxes.
The revenue boss said that one company in particular has formed another to carry out similar business and has moved to the extent of engaging its clients. He said he finds this situation ridiculous. Sattar, however, noted that there are a few cases where the tax defaulters will agree to make payments by installments following a court ruling.
There are many cases that we are pursuing the judgment. I haven't pronounced on those, haven't highlighted those because we are favorably disposed with those, meaning that we are collecting the taxes either by way of installment or by some arrangement we have with the companies. Or we haven't received the judgment, we have immediately gotten the payments. But that is not the case with these companies that I've pronounced on. And I've listed them in my press release. They have significant amounts of monies owing in excess of $7 billion. We can do with that revenues right now for the state.
GRA recently obtained several judgments against defaulting taxpayers for outstanding taxes, particularly pay-as-you-earn and a value-added tax. The judgment debtors include Copscan Limited, Guyana Stores Limited and Ditco Trading Company, among several others, who owes millions of dollars in taxes. Already, the GRA has instituted winding-up proceedings against companies such as Copscan Limited, Ditco Trading Company, and Friendship Hotel and Restaurant Holdings, Inc. Sattar reiterated that non-compliance with court orders will not be tolerated and all outstanding judgments will be vigorously pursued by way of levy. The GRA, he said, remains committed to collecting the state's revenue and will take all necessary steps to ensure the defaulting taxpayers comply with orders of court. For the Evening News, I'm Samuel Suknandon.
The Guyana Sugar Corporation GAISUCO is now hoping to achieve a production of 218,000 tons of sugar, a shortfall of 20,000 tons when compared to its initial target for 2013. Svetlana Marshall has the details.
Guyana Sugar Corporation GAISUCO has been forced to scale down its production target for 2013 due to increasing challenges facing the sugar industry. Initially, GAISUCO was expected to produce 238,000 tons of sugar for 2013, but now the new projection is set at 218,000 tons.
As we speak, we have already passed the 90,000 tons for this crop. And so far for the year, we are at about 140,000 tons. The target for the year is 238,000 tons. I have said, even during the budget speech, and consistently since throughout this year, that given the weather conditions that we have encountered in the first crop, and given the weather condition we have encountered during this second crop, the second grinding season, that the 238,000 tons will not be achieved.
With the 218 tons expected to be produced by the end of the year, approximately 195,000 tons will be exported to the European Union (EU) in keeping with the 1975 Sugar Protocol agreements. Changing weather patterns, limited sugar cane and the problematic Skeldon sugar factory are among key factors which led to the scaled-down target. Due to the new production, it is now estimated that the Skeldon factory will produce approximately 30,000 tons of sugar.
Skeldon's target, I believe, off the top of my head, is 39,000 tons for this crop. I believe at this moment, Skeldon is around 15,000 tons for the year. versus 39,000 for the year.
Skeldon factory's output is now expected to increase, with South African firm Bosch Engineering completing remedial works earlier this year. However, the changing weather pattern continues to affect the factory's ability to operate effectively.
With Skeldon, rain affects Skeldon more than other estates, because the most mechanized of all of the estates is Skeldon. Mechanization and rain don't go together. So in the old days, when it was purely manual, even when it rains, the workers could go out and work. But today that it is almost totally mechanized at Skeldon, when rain falls, the machine can't go on the field.
The shortage of sugarcane is another issue on the table to be addressed. Minister Ramsamy posited, noting that the factory will only produce sugar based on the amount of sugarcane it is fed. Currently, 2 sets of lands are cultivated to meet the demands of the Skeldon factory, the one cultivated by the Skeldon estate and the other cultivated by private farmers. He said the Agriculture Ministry is now working with local farmers to expand their production base, in addition to working with private investors to cultivate cane for the Skeldon factory. Reporting for the Evening News, I'm Svetlana Marshall.
Today, a 19-year-old French Guyana national appeared before Chief Magistrate Priya Sunarayan Bihari after he was charged with illegal entry. Brandon Hans Marth Albert Millard pleaded guilty to the charge, which read that on August 29 at Springlands Quarantine, he entered Guyana by sea and failed to present himself to the nearest immigration officer. According to prosecutor Bharat Mangru, the defendant came to Guyana to attend a funeral but overstayed his time. He then went to the Prashad Nagar police outpost, where he told the police he had no money to go home. Chief Magistrate Priya Sunarayan Bihari fined Millard $30,000 with the alternative of 3 months imprisonment. You're watching the Evening News. More news still ahead. This is the Evening News. Welcome back. Region 10 Chairman Sharma Solomon is calling for the involvement of key stakeholders within the region in advancing the work of the Economic Committee, which stemmed from the August 21, 2012 agreement between government and the region. The agreement was signed onto by Prime Minister Samuel Hines and Solomon after a month-long protest in Linden last year over a proposed government increase in electricity tariffs, which was eventually put on hold. Solomon recently indicated at a meeting with various stakeholders from across Region 10 that the committee, which is set to commence within the next few weeks, will be dependent on their input in making it a success. He said that currently the task is to bring together all economic prospects from within the region for over the past 50 years and have it presented to these key stakeholders, whom he noted would also have a say in the economic activities of the committee. The government of Guyana and the United Nations Development Program signed an Amerindian land titling document which will pave the way for additional villages to be titled and demarcated. Sabatini Daniels reports.
The signing will see $10.7 million being released from the Guyana-Norway Partnership Funds to advance the land titling and demarcation initiative. Speaking at the signing, which was done at the opening of the National Toshao Conference today, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh disclosed that under this project, it is expected that some 13 villages will be titled, while 33 will be demarcated. He noted that the government sees land titling and demarcation as important for villages to have control over their lands.
This project, funded by the Guyana Red Plus Investment Fund, the GRIF, as it has now become popularly known, will represent a significant advancement of this initiative. Our government remains firmly committed to ensuring that we implement this partnership diligently, that we demonstrate to the world our commitment as a country to the principles outlined in the Low Carbon Development Strategy.
He urged all the relevant heads who will oversee this project to ensure it is done in a timely and efficient manner. To date, some 97 villages have been titled, while 77 villages demarcated. The administration has set the policy objective of addressing all land titling issues by 2015 for Amerindian villages. In the past, high cost was a barrier to achieving this policy objective. However, it is envisioned that with the allocation of funds from the GRIF, this objective can finally be realized. Sabatini Daniels reporting for the Evening News.
Today, a man was remanded to prison after he appeared in the Georgia Magistrates Court to answer to 2 charges read against him. Emmanuel Laurie pleaded not guilty to the charge, which read that on October 18 at Brickdam and Water Street, he stole from the person of Mahendra Sahadio one cell phone valued at $40,000, but pleaded guilty to the charge, which stated that on the same day, he had in his possession 1 gram of cannabis. Chief Magistrate Priya Sunarayan Bihari fined him $3,000 along with 6 months of community service for the possession of narcotics charge, but remanded him for the offense of larceny from the person. The matter is set to return to court on November 8. Do stay tuned, more news still ahead. Welcome back to the Evening News. At least 4 persons were treated at a Skeldon hospital after the car in which they were traveling collided with a Ghana Police Force vehicle at Dukestown Public Road, Corriverton, Berbice on Sunday evening. Simon Sigobin, 19, of Scottsburg, Corriverton, and occupants Yadram Hemraj, 40, of number 77 Village, Currentine, Samuel Sigobin, 22, of Scottsburg, Currentine, and Mahesa Dre Paul, 23, of Lot 2 Sea Line Pat, Currentine, received minor injuries about their bodies, but were treated and sent away. This newscast understands that the accident involved a police vehicle with registration number PJJ 6832, which is stationed at the Springlands Police Station with 4 occupants, a motor car HB 9140 driven by Kemchan Jai Prasad, 34, of Lot 14, number 69 Village, Currentine, Berbice, with passengers Martin C. Prasad, 20, of Lot 19, number 69 Village, Currentine, and motor car PPP 7535, which was occupied by the injured men. Guyanese were blown away on Sunday morning by the melodious and powerful voice of international R&B singing sensation R. Kelly during his spectacular 90-minute performance at the Redemption concert, which also left his fans hoarse. Here's more.
That was international R&B singing sensation R. Kelly during his spectacular 90 minutes performance at the Redemption concert held at the Guyana National Stadium on Saturday evening. Some of the tunes that he performed included Bump and Grind, The World's Greatest, When a Woman Loves, Fiesta, I Wish, Happy People, Real Talk, and Slow Wine. However, the show started over 2300 hours with Keys and his band setting the tone for a fabulous evening. Morgan Heritage lived up to their expectation by performing some of the best reggae hits, including Down by the River, A Man is Still a Man, Don't Have to Be Dread, including others. Immediately after Morgan Heritage's performance, Karma Band featuring Ravi B and Nisha B took to the stage. It was indeed a fabulous evening of high-quality entertainment to the fullest, and patrons were definitely satisfied.
I know you heard a lot of tracks, but 12 plays what you want, so let me call the studio, and we can go all night. Girl, I hope you can hang, cause I'm horny as hell tonight, taking out the secret.
Bashar Mohammed, The Evening News.
Do stay tuned, your sport news is next. Welcome back, and now for a look at your sport news in the headlines. CMRC final leg set for November 24. Chief Education Officer endorses Courts Pee-wee, and Stephen Fernandez wins Janet Jagan Memorial Cycling. And now for the details. Chief Education Officer Olato Sam says the ongoing Courts Pee-wee Under-11 football tournament can really serve as a catalyst for growth in the sport. He made the comment on Saturday afternoon, moments after witnessing a few games in the round 16 of the Banks DH Ground Turf Park. Avinash Ramzan reports.
Speaking to media operatives on Saturday, Sam said the tournament can be described in one word, fantastic, as it provides a perfect opportunity for young students to harness their skills.
It really is a wonderful experience for our young people, and I think it complements everything that goes on in the school. They're learning some wonderful lessons here. I'm seeing good teamwork, I'm seeing disciplined young people really following the rules, and I'm seeing them really taking to the competition and all of the other, lessons that come with this kind of engagement. But then there's a wonderful atmosphere. Parents are here, well-wishers, and I think it really is going to really support the other dimensions of building the educational process in its totality.
The Chief Education Officer noted that the Courts Pee-wee fits neatly into the ministry's mandate, which is to turn out well-rounded individuals who can make meaningful contributions to society in the future.
I think when we can have these young people come out here, compete and do well and be proud of themselves and the team and the school, by extension, I think it'll complement all the other things we're trying to get done in the education system. And so I really must give kudos to the organizers and all of the other entities who are stepping forward now to support these kinds of activities in our schools. I think they really need to be encouraged and complimented.
Sam is of the view that the tournament provides an ideal opportunity for the Guyana Football Federation to have a glimpse into the future, as the competition will help to mold potential footballers.
This really bodes well for what can potentially happen in a few years at the other levels going forward. So I really am hoping that they're taking note and they're actually looking to support these kinds of ventures, because it has deep implications for the development of the sport.
On the field of play on Saturday, St. Pius, East La Penitence and F.E. Pollard maintains their unblemished record, but the other previously unbeaten school, North Georgetown, suffered defeat for the first time when round of 16 action commenced at the Banks DIH Ground, Thirst Park.
The junior national female basketball team struck gold for Guyana at the Inter-Guyana Games IGG on Sunday evening with a 45-23 win in Suriname. One day after blowing out their Dutch counterparts 47-29, Tamara Hunt dropped a game-high 17 points in the final game to help seal the win. Janelle Eiffel was the best in the post, grabbing 18 rebounds in the paint while dropping 10 points. Meanwhile, Ghana lost their athletics crown to Suriname after dominating the Surinamese on the track. Ghana's downfall came in the field events arena that cost them the overall championships. The team was expected to return home today. The curtains will come down on the Caribbean Motor Racing Championships on November 24, when motor racing fans would have the chance to witness the fastest car in the Caribbean at the South Dakota Circuit. Details from Avinash Ramzan.
According to information emanating from the Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club, Jamaica's Doug Gore has confirmed participation in the season-ending meet, and word is that the lanky motor racer has promised to give local fans a real treat when he competes against the best drivers in the rest of the Caribbean, including Guyana's very own Kevin Jeffrey, Andrew King, Paul and Mark Vera, Irfan Kalamadine and Vishak Prasad. Gore will be powering an Audi TT, dubbed the fastest car in the Caribbean at present, and that should present the local drivers with a real challenge come November 24. The Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club also revealed that Barbados will be sending a strong group of drivers led by the Maloney clan, Father Doug and son Mark. The experienced Peter Ray, powering his Mazda RX-7, will be part of the Jamaican contingent, which also includes Chris Campbell, George Bailey and Gary Williams. The other categories are expected to be equally exciting, and Guyana's Afraz Ali, Shairaz Roshandin and Saeed Hassan are all eager to show the Guyanese fans what they are capable of doing. In the Superbike category, Stephen Vera, though not at his best in the last meet, is definitely a big day performer, and while there are quite a few contenders ready to ascend to the throne, they will have to demonstrate a kind of daredevilry that he consistently exudes to dethrone him.
After being sent on their way by parliamentarian Bibi Shadiq, Stephen Fernandez trumped 53 other cyclists to win the inaugural Janet Jagan Memorial 50-mile road race on Sunday morning on the West Demerara roadways. Tristan Joseph witnessed the action and has the details.
Stephen Fernandez sprinted home in the final meters to capture the event that finished at the western end of the Demerara Harbour Bridge on Sunday morning. 54 cyclists started the road race at Wales that proceeded to Bushy Park, then back to the Harbour Bridge, where Fernandez finished in a time of 2 hours and 2 minutes. John Charles came in second, while Eric Sankar finished third. Junior Caribbean champion Paul de Nobrega was fourth, finishing ahead of Marlon Williams, who placed fifth, and Junior Nile sixth. Hansa Eastman won the junior event ahead of Alonzo Ambrose, while Turan Harris was the winner of the veterans event. Naomi Singh was the only female to compete, while Ozaya McCauley won the mountain bike event. Minister of Home Affairs Clement Rohi, at the presentation ceremony held after the race, said that Guyana should be the hub of cycling in the Caribbean, while national coach Hassan Mohammed thanked CARICOM Cement Inc. for their support, noting that the road race will become an annual event.
Thanks, Tristan. Do stay tuned. Your bridge reports are next. Welcome back, and now for a look at your bridge reports. The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed on Tuesday, October 22 at 5 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. The Berbice River Bridge will be closed on Tuesday, October 22 at 6 hours 10 for a period of 1.5 hours. And that's your Monday, October 21, 2013 edition of the Evening News. I am Leanna Bradshaw. Thanks for joining us.